Okay, we've got 9 games on tonight, and I apologize this is late, but I slept in because I was really overtired from the night before. And I wanted you guys to have a refreshed and awake hockey guy the morning after. Um, let's get into this right off the bat with Vancouver and Detroit. Vancouver is 4-4 on the road. Detroit's 2-4-1 at home. Their records are 9-6 and 4-8-2 respectively. Detroit's been better than their record looks over the last 4 or 5 games, and Vancouver's won 3 in a row. But Besser is rumored to be day to day, which means he may not play in this one, which means that hurts your attack. Which every time it looks like it's getting going, somebody gets hurt. Uh, Vancouver's 4-3 against the East. Detroit is 1-3-1 against the West. Scoring. On the Vancouver side of things, Pettersson 9 goals and 6 assists. Horvat 7 goals, 4 assists. Brock Besser 4 goals, 7 assists. Really hope he plays. I know it's a growing problem. Hope he plays. Virtanen 5 goals, 2 assists. Berchi 3 goals, 3 assists. Granlund same 3 goals, 3 assists for him. Stetcher with a goal and 5 assists. Goldobin with a goal and 5 assists. On the Detroit side of things, Dylan Larkin 6 goals, 9 assists. Nyquist 1 goal and 11 assists. Bertuzzi 5 goals, 3 assists. Cholowski with 2 goals, 6 assists. Athanasiou with 4 goals, 2 assists. Glendening a goal and 5 assists. Nielsen with 6 assists, and Anthony Matha 8th spot, 3 goals and 2 assists. Goaltenders, Markstrom's going to play till Nilsson's back. Haven't heard anything about Nilsson yet. Markstrom 3.27 goals against, 899 save percentage. Nilsson 2.67 goals against, 912 save percentage. On the Detroit side of things, Howard has a 3.06 goals against, 912 save percentage. Bernier, who's been better in his last couple of games, 4.20 goals against, 873 save percentage. This to me has the feelings of the trappings of that whole idea that maybe kind of sort of. And what's weird is that while I'm qualifying this as kind of being a trap, Vancouver wasn't expected to be this good, so that's a soft trap, as it were. And again, I'm anticipating a good game. I think it's going to be a game with a lot of chances at both ends, and we could see a lot of goals. We could, but a lot of that is dependent on Besser and his health and being able to play. And I do think that Detroit's capable of putting up goals. I know that they changed the whole curly fries thing, which I've had tremendous fun with, but I do believe that Detroit can put up some goals. They absolutely can. Next up, Dallas 8-5-1 coming off that overtime loss last night against the Boston Bruins. Columbus 7-6-1. They're limping home after a rough road trip. And the Detroit or Dallas Stars are 3-3-1 on the road. They're 3-4-1 against the East. Columbus is 3-4 at home. They're 3-3-1 versus the West. Scoring: Tyler Seguin 3 goals and 11 assists. He's struggling. He is. He's gone 11 games without a goal now. Klingberg 5 goals and 7 assists. Radulov 5 goals, 6 assists. Ben with 6 goals and 5 assists. Shore 3 goals, 6 assists. Spezza has 3 goals and 7 assists. Lindell and Foxa. Lindell has 6 points with 5 of them being assists, and Foxa 3 goals and 2 assists. And I mentioned this, but Sagan and Ben, very often the point totals that you get from them will be a little bit less than what you might have expected. And, and people point out, well, Ben's got more points than all these guys over the last 4 years combined. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that when you look at him from game to game, he's not a guy who's going to score anywhere near like a McDavid, and it's not he's not that kind of player. And right now he's sitting with 11 points in 14 games, and that's about right. That's about right. That's about where I would expect him. I'd expect 65, 70, maybe 75 points out of him, which is excellent in today's NHL, yes. But when I see him being compared as a dynamic forward to guys like Ovi or even Backstrom in Washington, it just doesn't fit for me. He's a power forward who chips in the goals, but he never quite scores as many as people might think. But again, I know people always bring up, oh, over the last 4 years, though. Yeah, I get it. On the Columbus side of things, Panarin 5 goals, 10 assists. Atkinson 6 goals, 5 assists. Dubois with 6 goals and 4 assists. Anderson 7 goals and 2 assists. Werenski 3 goals, 6 assists. Duclair 5 goals, 3 assists. Foligno 4 goals and 4 assists. Nudavara, 1 goal and 7 assists. In goal, Hudobin was excellent last night. He's gonna sit tonight. There's no way they're playing him tonight. 2.21 goals against, 928 save percentage. Bishop, 2.32 goals against and a 922 save percentage. On the Columbus side of things, something to remember is, of course, that their power play has been hot garbage. And every time they get a power play during a game, I say, at least it's a Columbus power play. They might want to start declining these. Bobrovsky has a 3.33 goals against, 894 save percentage. Korpisalo, 3.80 goals against, 884 save percentage. And they both know that they need to improve those numbers. Columbus, there really isn't an area that they don't need improvement. Even Panarin's scoring has slowed down. So everything right now for Columbus is kind of worrying if you've got plans to see them as one of the better teams. One of the magazines that I bought, one of the yearbooks that I bought, had them finishing first in the division. I remember thinking that was really weird. And I wonder if they've changed their opinion on that. I just can't remember which one it was. But anyways, let's move on. Next up, Montreal. 8-4-2 coming off that shootout win last night. They're now in against the Rangers, who are 6-7-1. And with the win tonight, the Rangers can get back to 500. And while it doesn't help them on the power rankings that there's shootouts in there, so of course, my power rankings reflect, well, shootouts aren't the same as a regulation win. Standings don't care. And if they can get back to 500, that would be a major victory for this team. The Montreal Canadiens are 3-1-2 on the road. They're 6-2-2 versus the East. The Rangers are above 500. They're 4-3 at home, and they're 2-2-1 versus the East. Scoring: Montreal, Domi, 8 goals, 7 assists. Tatar, 3 goals and 8 assists. Gallagher, 9 goals and 1 assist. Drouin, 4 goals, 6 assists. Petrie with a goal and 9 assists. Lankinen, 2 goals, 7 assists. Byron, 4 goals and 3 assists. And Armia is now on the board with 3 goals and 7 assists. 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. They retiring Domi's jersey yet? Or because the excitement around Domi is palpable. And his 15 points in 14 games has been impressive. He's already got 8 goals. He had 9 all of last year. It was 9, right? Yeah, it's insane. This is the player that Arizona was drafting. This is the player that they thought they were getting when they drafted him in the first round. And he would not have done this if he'd stayed in Arizona another year. There's no way. He's more fired up, more intense. On the New York Rangers side of things, Zibanejad, 6 goals, 5 assists. Zuccarello, 3 goals, 7 assists. Chris Kreider, 6 goals, 3 assists. Howden, 3 goals, 6 assists. Pionk with a goal and 6 assists. VC with 5 goals and 1 assist. And Fast and Shea both have a goal and 5 assists to their name. Now, in net, Carey Price, 2.59 goals against, 907 save percentage. Niemi, 3.13 goals against, 893 save percentage. Niemi played well last night. I would imagine Price plays tonight because you get Price against Lundqvist. Lundqvist, 2.61 goals against, 923 save percentage. Georgiev, 3.60 goals against, 897 save percentage. Now, if you'll notice, there's only 2 percentage points difference in goals against between Lundqvist and Price, but there's 16 points difference in save percentage, meaning Lundqvist is facing a lot more shots than Carey Price so far this year. The defense that's been shown so far by Montreal has been far superior to what was expected. And for the Rangers, they've kind of been what we had expected with them. 14 games played, their leading scorer has 11 points. Zibanejad's played well. Zuccarello, 10 points. But it's been, as I said, there's 3 wins via shootout. And, there's some smoke and mirrors to get here. But if they can win tonight, even if it's in a shootout, it's 2 points, and they get back to the magical 500, which means they have the same amount of wins that they have losses. And, that would be a very interesting Metropolitan Division. I know I did take a quick scan yesterday of the divisional standings, and the Metro Division is the closest of the 4 divisions, which shouldn't surprise anybody. That's been the case for a while now. It was the case for last year. There were a couple teams, Rangers included, that fell off the map at the end of the year, but halfway through the season, all of them looked like they were in the running for the playoffs, and we were complaining about how one of the teams in the Atlantic was going to miss because of the way this playoffs are set up, and these teams in the Met were fantastic. End of the season, that had kind of petered out a little bit. Just a little bit. But there you go. The Rangers can get back to 500, and for Montreal, if they can win this one tonight, they are now knocking on the door of Tampa Bay. I don't know if they're ready for that level, but they'll be knocking on their door. Next up, New Jersey. So fresh off of a victory last night, they go in against Ottawa, and I'm gonna mention this here. The Ottawa Senators and the infamous Uber thing. The video that I did last night wasn't intended to talk about the legality or the ethics of recording somebody without their knowledge. I agree. It's not a nice thing to do. I would never do it. I would never dream about doing that because again, it's something that's going to hurt you more than it helps you in the long term or even the short term. And what the reason that I wanted to discuss it as something simple was that Ottawa clearly doesn't respect their special teams coach. People say, "Oh, well, you always talk about your bosses behind your back," which is true, absolutely true. But the way they were talking about it and the things that were being said, for me, if I was the guy calling the shots, I would be alarmed in the Ottawa Senators organization that the players seem to universally feel that way about the guy who's running special teams. And with special teams, especially the penalty kill, not looking fantastic, I would put two and two together and say, you know what, we've got to change something. So that's where I'm at with that. And so I wanted to talk about that at the start here and just get that kind of out of the way. We'll be very interested tonight to see how Ottawa plays, and I'll be interested to watch that penalty kill. Are they actually going to make that extra effort that their penalty kill just hasn't shown this year? They're forced 5-6-3. So 5-6-3 record for Ottawa, 6-5-1 for New Jersey. New Jersey is now 1-4 on the road. They're looking to win their second in a row on the road. They're 3-4 against the East. They're looking to even that up at 4-4. Ottawa's 4-2-2 at home. They're 3-4-1 against the East. So both teams are looking to get back to an even record against Eastern foes. Scoring, Palmieri still leads the way for New Jersey with 9 goals, 6 assists. Close behind him is Taylor Hall, 2 goals, 12 assists. Heischer, 3 goals, 7 assists. Zajac, 4 goals and 5 assists. Severson with 2 goals, 6 assists. Butcher, a goal and 7 assists. Brian Boyle, after that hat trick last night, now has 6 goals and 1 assist, so he's on the board. Vatanen with a goal and 5 assists is in 8th spot. On the Ottawa side of things, Shabbat, 3 goals, 14 assists. Stone, 4 goals, 9 assists. Duchesne, 4 goals, 8 assists. Tierney, 2 goals and 10 assists. Dzingel, 5 goals, 4 assists. Bodker, 2 goals and 7 assists. Lajoie, 5 goals and 3 assists. And Bobby Ryan, 4 goals and 4 assists. And also, and as I said this too, always assume you're being recorded. Always. You've got to watch when you're out in public. You have to assume you're being recorded. I do it. I make sure that I'm watching what I say and what I do because I think, you know what, if I'm at a meetup or somebody recognizes me in public and goes, hey, he's that guy from YouTube, and I'm saying something off color that can be taken out of context, I have to watch what I say. So yeah, you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. All right, goaltending. Kincaid, 2.52 goals against, 919 save percentage. Schneider, I would expect Schneider to get the start since Kincaid started last night. Schneider, 3.24 goals against, 889 save percentage. Montreal, goaltenders, McKenna, 7.90 goals against, 806 save percentage. Condon, 6.38 goals against, 800 save percentage. And Craig Anderson, 3.58 goals against, and a 909 save percentage. So, Anderson, he's going to start every game, isn't he? Forever. This is just what's going to happen now. And I feel bad for Craig Anderson on this one. Because, again, this is a team now that they're having team meetings today. Guaranteed. There's going to be all kind of, not team building, it's team meetings. And it's not the kind of meetings you want to have. So for guys who were complaining about meetings, get ready because you're going to have a bunch of them. Probably one-on-ones with the coach. Maybe the general manager gets in there. Or, maybe Dorian could trust them, or maybe Melnick gets involved. What if Melnick sees us and he gets involved? These players could be like, oh God, what did we do? Oh, Eugene's here. Oh, crap. Damn it, Matt, you just had to talk, didn't you? You just couldn't stop. Matt, why couldn't you? You were right there. Why couldn't you see the light was on, Matt? That would be the most entertaining part, would be the player reaction to, somebody should record that. No. No. All right, next up, Vegas and Toronto. This is a very interesting game. Vegas is 6-7-1, and it's not news for me to say that Vegas has struggled so far this year. They're 6-7-1. They're 2-5 on the road. They're 4-5 versus the East. It's all below 500. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 9-5. Great record, but they're 3-5 at home. And they're 5-3 versus the West. So there's a lot of numbers on this board here that say, I don't know what's going to happen. If we're going to see Vegas reasons this season, if we're going to see Vegas win a game they have no business winning, tonight's the night. If they're going to start getting back to being the team they were last year, do it now. Because you're running out of time. American Thanksgiving is that invisible line, right? And that's only a couple of weeks off. And then after that invisible line, if you're out of the playoffs, the odds you make in the playoffs are slim. And if you're below 500, they're basically zero. So there you go. Marcia So leads the way in scoring for Vegas with 6 goals, 7 assists. Carlson, 3 goals, 7 assists for him. And I think he would admit to being off to a bit of a slow start, considering last year and everything that happened for him then. Howla, 2 goals and 5 assists. Smith, 3 goals and 3 assists. They need more out of him. But Smith did overachieve last year. Absolutely. I'm saying that as a guy who watched Riley in Dallas and Boston. Tuck, 3 goals, 2 assists. Theodore, 1 goal, 4 assists. Reeves with 4 goals. And Cody Eakin with 3 goals and an assist for Vegas. The fact that somebody who's got 4 points is still on their top 8 scorers. They're the only one on the board that has that. Let me look. There's one. Only LA has somebody with less than 4 points that qualifies for the board, which shows that the scoring for Vegas is not where it was last year. Toronto, Morgan Riley's your leading scorer with 6 goals and 12 assists. Hands up anybody who thought Morgan Riley would lead the team in scoring early November. Put your hand down. Seriously. Nobody trusts you. Marner, 4 goals, 14 assists. He's tied for the lead, but of course goals are your decider. Matthews is still there with 10 goals, 6 assists. Tavares, 8 goals and 8 assists. Kapanen, who's been the story of the year, 6 goals, 6 assists. Kadri, 3 goals, 5 assists. Gardner with a goal and 7 assists. And Marleau, 3 goals and 4 assists for him. In net, Marc-Andre Fleury, 2.51 goals against, 901 save percentage. He's back above 500. 900. Let's see if he can stay above 900 on his save percentage. That's an interesting challenge for him this year. Subban, 2.83 goals against, 881 save percentage. Toronto, Anderson, 2.28 goals against, 924 save percentage. Every time his save percentage goes above 920, the Toronto media will talk about him for the Vezina. And I know I don't know if it's just to generate clicks or just to generate discussion, but it's strange. It really is to me, anyways. Sparks, 3.49 goals against and an 892 save percentage. And this is going to be an interesting game because again, Toronto's home record has been poor. Sorry that leans over. I'll grab it when I go to the next game. But while Toronto's record has been poor, Vegas's road record hasn't been very good either. So something's got to happen there. Okay, and next up, straighten the board. Bam, just like that. Edmonton is 8-5-1 right now. They lost last night against Washington. Now they got to play Tampa. Tampa's 10-3-1. I hope Edmonton enjoyed being number 6 on the power rankings because they could potentially, the potential's there, get smacked down by Tampa. Now here's the other way of looking at it. Edmonton has a chance tonight with a 5-3 road record going into Tampa. Tampa is 5-2 at home. The Oilers could have a statement game here. Coming out of that game against Washington, it's easy to dismiss and it's easy to say, all right, now the fall started. They didn't look like a championship team or anything like that against Washington. They were against real champs. They could go out tonight and get a win and get people talking about them in the proper way again. They're 4-3-1 against the East, and Tampa's surprisingly only 500. They have 3 wins, 3 losses, and 1 overtime loss against the West. So they haven't lost anything against the East. Tampa feasts on the East, not so much with the West. Scoring. On the Edmonton side, McDavid, 10 goals, 12 assists. The guy's a scoring machine. 22 points in 14 games, and we go, yeah, I guess so. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 3 goals, 13 assists. Draisaitl, 8 goals and 7 assists. Clefbaum has 7 assists, so does Toby Reeder. Chason, 6 goals. Nurse, 5 assists. And Nurse has a goal and 4 assists. And Adam Larson, 5 assists. He's got good defensive numbers, too. So as much as we all want to look at the Taylor Hall deal and go, oh, that was just an awful deal for Edmonton. And it was. Adam Larson's having a bounce-back season. He is, and he and Clefbaum and that blue line that everybody maligned for Edmonton is part of the reason why they're 8-5-1. It's not all McDavid, because you have to keep the puck out of the other end too. Tampa's scoring. Point, 8 goals, 9 assists. Gourde, 6 goals, 8 assists. Kucherov, 5 goals, 9 assists. JT Miller, 4 goals, 7 assists. Johnson, 5 goals, 5 assists. Stamkos, 4 goals and 6 assists. McDonough with a goal and 9 assists. And Anton Stralman on the board with a goal and 6 assists. Goaltending. Talbot, 2.93 goals against, 8.99 save percentage. Koskinen, 2.02 goals against, 9.35 save percentage. And Koskinen likely plays tonight because Talbot played last night. Tampa Bay, Demang, 3.77 goals against, 8.85 save percentage. And Vasilevsky, 1.98 goals against, 9.35 save percentage. Vasi's putting up Hasek numbers. And Tampa's looked fantastic for the most part this year. And it'll be very interesting to see how they do at home against an Edmonton Oilers team that should come in hungry and kind of wanting to prove something after last night. Last night was a rough game for them against Washington. They ran into a goaltender in Copley that was playing better than Holtby has been lately, or even better than Copley has been in his last couple of appearances. But hey, when you run into a hot goaltender or you just have one of those nights, that happens. The trick is bouncing back the next night, and now it could be Vasi, which is a bit of a challenge. But however, the Oilers are able to score in bunches. They have the best forward in the league scoring-wise. Do we all agree on that? No? Okay. We can't agree on anything, I swear. This is why we don't have family reunions. But yeah, so I would expect this to probably be the game of the night. I think of the games that are on the schedule, this is the one that's probably going to be, I don't know about most entertaining, but we could see a ton of chances, and it's definitely star-studded. And for the other board, I went and got old Scratchy. Yeah. So because I had to do the review last night of the other game, I'm like, I got to bring the other board out again. So old Scratchy's back in business. And old Scratchy's previewing these 3 games, starting with Minnesota and San Jose. Minnesota 8-3-2. That's a fantastic record. San Jose 7-4-3. They're better than people are giving them credit for. And here's the funny thing. San Jose is still in the running for best in their division. They have 17 points. They're 3 games above 500. And I know they're overtime loss points, but still. Minnesota's 3-3 on the road. They're 4-3-1 versus the West. San Jose's 3-2-1 at home. They're 3-1 versus the West. So something's got to give there. But the home record of San Jose is better than the road record of Minnesota's. The record against the West, San Jose's got a better record than Minnesota. Minnesota just has the better overall win-loss record so far this season. It's going to be an interesting one. Scoring-wise, Granlund is now the leading scorer for the Minnesota Wild with 6 goals, 7 assists. Parise, 4 goals, 8 assists. Suter, 3 goals, 9 assists. Stahl with 5 goals and 6 assists. Zucker with 4 goals, 5 assists. Dumba, 4 goals, 3 assists. Coyle and Spurgeon both have 2 goals and 5 assists for the Minnesota Wild. On the San Jose side of things, Brent Burns, 3 goals, 13 assists for 16 points. Timo Meier is a story with San Jose, 11 goals and 5 assists. And they asked their fans a question. The fan poll was, how long can Meier lead the team in goal scoring? And the answer was a lot of San Jose fans saying they think he can do it from wire to wire. And a number thinking he can do it for at least half the season, maybe 3/4. I don't know how long, but I got to say, Meier, 11 goals, that is surprising. Couture, 6 goals, 10 assists. Hurdle, 5 goals, 9 assists. Kane with 4 goals and 6 assists. LeBanc, 2 goals, 8 assists. Donskoy, 3 goals, 8 assists. And there's Erik Karlsson, and they're kind of waiting for him to get it going. He's got 7 assists in 14 games. That's just not good enough. Goaltending on the Minnesota side of things, Dubnyk, 2.07 goals against, 937 save percentage. Stalock, 3.30 goals against, 895 save percentage. On the San Jose side of the goaltending, Aaron Dell, 2.71 goals against, 913 save percentage. And there's Jones, 2.69 and a 900 save percentage. Jones, get above 900 and stay there. Don't drop below 900. This is not the time. You understand? Glad we had this conversation. And all kidding aside, Jones has been Good, not great. And as I said in my, I believe it's a preview video yesterday, that's the difference. Is, the good versus the great, and a great goaltender will get you to, division titles and beyond. A good goaltender can miss the playoffs but still be good. And it's that guy that fans say, well, it wasn't really his fault we lost tonight. He couldn't have saved any of those shots. And then you look at the guy who beat him and they go, man, did you see the saves that goalie made? That shot should have gone in, but man, his arm came out of nowhere and boom. Like that's the difference, and I haven't seen a lot of that with Jones, and we're waiting on that. I don't anticipate him losing starts to Dell yet. I know Dell has better numbers, but I think Jones will still get the lion's share of starts to get himself going. Next up, Carolina, the descending Carolina Hurricanes, and their 6-6-2 record go in against the we're not sure what we are St. Louis Blues at 4-5-3. Could we go get Joel Quenneville, please? And I'm just kidding about that last part. The Carolina Hurricanes are 3-3-1 on the road. They're 3-3-1 versus the West, which means they're 3-3-1 versus the East. They're 3-3-1 at home. They're 6-6-2 overall. Carolina loves everything the same. Tonight, something's going to be different, and it's going to upset them. St. Louis is 4-5-3 overall. They're 3-4-1 at home. They're 1-2 versus the East. So where it hurts if you're a Blues fan is 8 of these games have been at home. 4 on the road. So unless they magically have a fantastic amount of luck on the road, the fact that they're not making hay at home makes this start look even worse. Scoring. Aho leads the way with 4 goals, 13 assists for Carolina. Ferland, 7 goals, 4 assists. Teravainen, 3 goals, 8 assists. Williams with a goal and 8 assists. Jordan Staal with 5 goals and 3 assists. Falk, a goal and 5 assists. Martinook with 4 goals and 1 assist. And there's Foegele with 3 goals and 2 assists to get on the board. On the St. Louis side of things, O'Reilly, 4 goals, 12 assists. Tarasenko, 6 goals, 5 assists. Perron with 5 goals and 5 assists. Shen, 3 goals and 6 assists. Steen, 4 goals, 3 assists. Dunn with 3 goals and 4 assists. Sanford has the same at 3 goals, 4 assists. And Maroon, 7 assists for him. They could use some goals from Maroon. They could use something from Schwartz when he's playing. This Schmaltz. I'm thinking of Schmaltz. Anyways, no, Jaden Schwartz. It's Jordan Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Schmaltz. Stop it. Stop having guys with similar names on your team, especially when they're not on the board. But they could use more of everything with St. Louis right now. It's been a rough start. I really think Quenneville's going to end up there. Maybe by the time I'm done this video. Wouldn't surprise me. Anyways, sorry, Mike Yo, if you're watching this. I'm not trying to insinuate that your job's tenuous or anything. Goaltending. Scott Darling, 3.14 goals against, 893 save percentage. Peter Mrazek, 2.75 goals against, 880 save percentage. And McElhinney, 2.76 goals against, 892 save percentage. And the interesting thing with Carolina is this. They outshoot everybody, and their goaltenders can't save 90% of the shots they face. It's bizarre. Really, really bizarre. That they're out shooting everybody. Their save percentage isn't very good, and neither is their shooting percentage. So something's wrong with Carolina too. As much as I talk a joke about St. Louis in this bit, I can't let Carolina off the hook either. St. Louis, Jake Allen, 3.99 goals against, 879 save percentage. There's ouch in there. Johnson, 3.28 goals against, 872 save percentage. I don't know how much longer you can run with this battery before you bring up Husso and say, give it a shot. They got to do something with St. Louis. Something's got to be done to fix this because it's been an absolute disaster. And while not everybody picked them to make the playoffs or be fantastic, I don't think anybody saw that coming, where they would just be pretty awful. They've had the odd game here and there that they've looked pretty good, but it's made those games where they're awful look even worse. So there's that. But that'll be an interesting game because I can't put a trap sticker up since both teams look like a trap team right now. So could be a sloppy one. Could be a lot of scoring when you look at the goaltending numbers. Could be some old 80s hockey tonight. Could be an 8-6 or 9-7 type game. Now it'll be a 1-0 shutout because I've said it. Anaheim's in LA. The Ducks 6-6-3. They broke that massive losing streak. LA 4-8-1, and I'm sure Randy Carlisle's checking his phone regularly right now. The coaches are dropping quickly this year, which is unusual compared to last year. The Ducks are 3-4 on the road. They're 3-4-2 versus the West. The Kings are 3-3-1 at home, which doesn't look great until you realize that means they're 1-5 on the road, and they're 0-3-1 versus the West. So LA needs to win some games against Western teams, and they might as well start tonight. They've got a Ducks team coming in that's been shaky. Raquel leads the way in scoring with 3 goals, 8 assists. Getzlaf, 2 goals, 8 assists. Silverberg, 4 goals, 5 assists. Fowler, 3 goals, 6 assists. Lindholm, 2 goals, 6 assists. Henrique, 3 goals, 4 assists. Comtois, who they've missed while he's been out with injury, 2 goals, 5 assists. Sherwood, 2 goals, 3 assists for him to round out the top 8. On the LA side of things, Kovalchuk, 4 goals, 7 assists. Doughty with a goal and 9 assists. Carter, 4 goals, 5 assists for him. Iafallo, 3 goals, 5 assists. Toffoli, 3 goals, 4 assists. Kopitar, 4 goals, 2 assists. Brown is on the board. Brown's played 3 games, and he's got 2 goals and 2 assists. So if Brown can keep up his scoring pace, and if he can really bring some fire back to this team, he can make an interim coach look real good. Martinez, 1 goal, 2 assists for him to round out the top 8 for the Kings. In net, Ryan Miller, 2.44 goals against, 932 save percentage for Anaheim, and Gibson, 2.36 goals against, 935 save percentage for him. On the LA side of things, Jonathan Quick, who's out for 3 to 6 weeks, so 2 to 5 from now, I guess. 4.55 goals against, 845 save percentage. Campbell, 2.67 goals against, 912 save percentage, and Budai, 2.00 goals against, 909 save percentage. I think that the Kings can turn things around a little bit. They've won 2 of their last 3. So firing Stevens, I was surprised by it because they had just won their last game, and they'd looked pretty good in 2 of their last 3 games. So I think that decision was made before that win against Columbus. I think they're like, all right, we're going to make a change behind the bench. And we'll see how it works out starting tonight. And oddly enough, of course, if the Kings come out tonight with a big effort and they beat the Ducks, we're going to be watching to see if Carlisle is the next one to go. This could be a big year for getting rid of coaches. Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You're just tapping upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.